And welcome back to Premier Boxing Champions, the next round on Bounce TV, live from the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, and we are ready for our first bout of the night. It is a super bantamweight bout. So let's take a look now at the tail of the tape. It's brought to you by Geico. And our two contestants, Alexis Beaver Santiago going up against Jose El Tigre Cayetano, and they're both 25 years of age. Santiago has the 2-inch height advantage and the 1-inch reach advantage, and both fighters are making it under the 122-pound weight limit. All right, now for the official introductions, let's toss it over to the birthday boy, Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan here in Las Vegas. Live on Bounce, this is Premier Boxing Champions. The action begins with 10 rounds in the Super Bantamweight division. The three judges ringside are Max DeLuca, Dave Moretti, and Ricardo Ocasio. And the referee in charge when the bell sounds, Tony Weeks. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black with the green, red, and white trim. His professional record, an impressive one, 19 wins, 9 of those by way of knockout against 4 losses. Fighting out of Tijuana, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, Jose El Tigre Cayetano. And across the ring, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black and the green with the silver trim. As a professional, his record 21 wins, 8 of those by way of KO against 3 losses and 1 draw. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Alexis Beaver Santiago.
Go. Venga. Venga. Que usted con sus distorsiones está bien, aquí no, aquí está bien, aquí no, todo para arriba, escúcheme, escúchate.
Yeah, that's the great referee, Tony Weeks, speaking of both fighters here in Spanish. You saw the Nevada rules here. Fran Charles alongside Austin, no doubt. Trout mentioned Ray Flores, his birthday. You guys, I'm too old for you guys. You guys went out, kicked it last night. I had to do some more studying here as we're underway. This is the first 10 here between Cayetano and Santiago. So Cayetano is in the black trunks with the red, silver, and green, and the black trim around the belt. And there you see the Beaver there with the white trim around the belt. The Santiago with the green and black trunks as well. Santiago 21-3-1 with 8 knockouts for his career, but he is undefeated in his last 10, 9-1, hasn't lost a fight since 2012. Meanwhile, Cayetano 19-4 with 9 KOs. Just his second fight of his career outside of Mexico. The earlier one that he fought here in the United States was in Vegas as well. It was against Leo Santa Cruz. We'll get into that later. But early on, Austin, seems like both fighters just trying to settle in round 1 and say, hello, how you do?
Yeah, it's a good feeling out round right now. Not much action going on, but they're just sizing each other up. I have no doubt that they're going to get to it soon.
Saw a nice attempt at a jab to the body there by Santiago. Oh, nice lead left hook there. Cayetano. Both fighters, conventional fighters. And good movement early here. Santiago with a nice amateur background here, 130 fights, both in the United States and Mexico. He is from Phoenix, but he now makes his home here in Las Vegas. He's lived here for about 3.5 years. And nice work in that time by Cayetano. Nice 1-2. Santiago comes back. But he and his brother, he gives his brother, older brother, comes from a very close-knit family, gives his older brother, Francisco, all the credit in the world for managing the early part of his career when they were in Phoenix.
Yeah, he said his brother really gave him everything he needed to get to where he is now in the boxing game. Good story, right? He said his brother, when he first started, was the one who booked the fights and, having traveling to go. He was really actually a journeyman, so to speak, because he would go and just take any fight and fight anybody.
Yeah, they want to clean it up a little bit. We'll get into more of Santiago's story here when we come back as the first round comes to the books. And there's a nice shot from Cayetano here down the first. All right, so the first and 10 in the books. PBC, the next round on Bounce back. Back with Premier Boxing Champions, the next round on Bounce TV. Jose El Tigre Cayetano. He began fighting at 8 years of age. He turned pro at 22. He told us yesterday we sat down with his favorite fighters, of course. And then Julio Cesar Chavez as well. And back on the flip side there for Santiago and his brother, said his brother did everything, helped to get him ranked, the whole nine. He was in charge, he was the manager, he was the brother, but then he just figured he had taken this thing as far as he could and decided, you know what, they're going to pack up and they're driving to Vegas and they want to see if they can connect with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and get a spot inside his gym as Santiago lands a nice right there. And sure enough, after floating around a couple gyms for a little bit, they were able to get over to Money Mayweather's gym there, and Roger Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, took an interest with him, and then the rest was kind of history. Spent a couple of years with Roger, and then eventually signed with Mayweather Promotions, and here he is. And since he has signed with Mayweather Promotions, 9-0-1 in 10 fights.
The kid definitely grinded to get his goal. They said he lived in a hotel for about a year just trying to make it out here, waiting to be signed before he got signed. Good jab.
So you see Santiago there trying to do a good job and also make sure that he delivers not only power punches, but also often he is jabbing to the body as well.
You know, he is showing a good versatility.
Oh, nice shot. Lead left hand there from Santiago. He catches Cayetano. Cayetano says, come on, bring it.
Yeah, nice to lead that foot.
Good 1-2 that time from Santiago.
I think he found a hole for that hook.
Alexis Santiago loosening up here in the second round.
Cayetano looks like he has a smile on his face.
Nice counter left hand there from Santiago. So Alexis Beaver Santiago is settling in nicely here. And Austin seems like he's settled in nice with the counter right.
I think Cayetano had that nice counter right, was the most distinct punch of that exchange.
Cayetano, though, doing a little bit of work here towards the end of the second round. He caught Santiago with a nice left hook to the chest. And now doing more body work. So, round started out really well for Santiago, but Cayetano did a nice job catching up. So, both Santiago and Cayetano getting comfortable here in the second round. Back here on PBC, the next round on Bounce TV.
Donde tú quieras, pero tírate.
Alexis Santiago turned pro in 2009. One of the last.
Límpiate.
9-0-1.
Límpiate, no te dejes huevonear por ese
Knocked
maricón,
down once in his career, and that was
Tiene que
back
estar
in
vivo,
2012 when he lost to Morales. As we get set here for the third of a scheduled 10-rounder.
You see how they both switch stance at the same time twice.
We talked about the amateur pedigree here for Santiago. For Cayetano, he just had 14 amateur fights. He started at 8, but didn't really get serious, he said, until he was 19. And his last fight was a 10-round victory. It was a majority draw over Roberto Cuqueta. But it was the fight that took place on May 2nd, 2015. He was battling Leo Santa Cruz. He was on the undercard of the biggest grossing fight in boxing history, Mayweather-Pacquiao. And he was a late replacement there. Told us he had just 1 week to get ready for that
short
fight.
notice. And you know, he still lasted. He lasted the fight. He ended up walking away on his feet. You know, he says he wants the rematch. He feels if he had more time, he could beat Leo Santa Cruz. But first, he's got to get past Santiago.
Santiago did some nice work there. He came back upstairs with a 1-2. Yeah, I mean, held his own. I mean, in there against Cayetano for having no time to get ready for it. And you know, his camp told us for that fight he sparred 0 rounds. Didn't have any time as he connects with an overhand left. But then, as opposed to this fight, he said that he feels good. He went about 150 rounds sparring. So it just gives you an indication of the difference in terms of preparation. But sometimes when the phone rings, you got to be ready.
You got to take that call. Good right hand. They are starting to warm up a bit.
Santiago beats Cayetano with a punch there.
Cayetano showing some head movement.
Lands hard, left hook to the body, and then he goes upstairs. Shots were partially blocked, but still, Santiago had to feel a bit of a force. So both fighters are capitalizing when the other fighter throws looping shots. 15 seconds left here in the 3rd round. Good body work that time for Cayetano.
Nice exchange.
Cayetano doing a nice job of focusing on the body. That could pay dividends and later in the fight. Welcome back to PBC, the next round here on Bounce TV. I want to let you know about an MMA fight here on FS1. Tuesday, September 27th. Brian Perella goes up against Jordanis West. That's 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. You're wearing all kinds of hats tonight. So not only are you locked in on the action, but you are also our unofficial scorer. We hit round 4 of a scheduled 10-rounder. So, Austin, let's take a peek at your first card of the night, and let me know how you see this thing here through 3 as we get to round 4.
Well, right now I got it, 2 rounds to 1. Santiago, although the last round Cayetano switched up, his method of attacking, it was very effective. Let's see if Santiago can respond with adjustments.
Santiago's got a preference for Cayetano was busy too the second half of the round, and definitely looked like he landed the harder shots there to the body. Let me start with Santiago. So if you're the Beaver, Austin, what do you need to be doing more of?
He needs to feint, kind of throw him off because he's just looking to counter. So I think he needs to feint and double up on his shots.
Nice combination there from Jose Cayetano. And if you're Cayetano,
do what you're doing. He came in at first as aggressive, and now he's more on the defensive side of counterpunching. And he sent up traps for Santiago. They're working.
Nice right there that time. Santiago. It seems like Cayetano leaves himself open here. And Santiago falling off balance. I like the way Cayetano, he's committed to the body.
He is, and it's going to pay off. I mean, we got a long fight ahead. It's 10 rounds, so those later rounds, I think he might feel a little flat. That's about the shots.
Cayetano also seems to try to get pretty good leverage when he delivers his blows. Bent legs, comes forward, he throws him with conviction.
He does. Yeah, I liked how he stepped in with the jab and went straight down to the body with the hook.
Tough rounds to score here. Have to give Cayetano a little bit of credit here as he seems to have loosened up a little bit more.
He sure he's taking control of this fight now.
Yeah, he has opened up his arsenal. No doubt. Good movement as well. Back here at the Chelsea, at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. Beautiful venue.
Absolutely.
For our first trip out here in Las Vegas for PBC the next round on Bounce TV.
Entra y sale, entra y sale, entra y
As
sale,
we get
entra y
set
sale,
here
entra y sale. Vamos.
for the 5th round of this scheduled 10-round super bantamweight fight, Alexis Santiago and Jose Cayetano. And both these young fighters here, I mean, Santiago, he was very proud of the work that his brother has done, and he passed the baton to Mayweather Promotions, but they got him ranked. With all the major organizations, as a bantamweight, he stepped up tonight to the 122-pound limit. But he thinks that he potentially could have some big things in his future, near future. Obviously, he has to get past the Cayetano tonight. He has switched to southpaw.
Yeah, as soon as one switches, the other one follows
does
suit.
as well, right? So both the fighters are now going southpaw, so they're both switch hitters.
Cayetano's fine. He's found his rhythm, and he's really dictating what happens in this fight.
Explain to me, Austin, why, if you have the ability, switching to southpaw could help you in a bout.
Well, if it's not working, being right-handed, you switch to southpaw, you just open up a different openings for the punch, and then also
Different lane, different angle.
Exactly. The angles changes now. The left hand is now shoot down the pipe. They're open for it.
Because it's interesting now, Santiago has switched back to being a conventional fighter, but Cayetano has stayed on the southpaw. Good left hand from Cayetano, and Santiago's legs buckled. We'll have to go back to see if the hand actually touched the cage.
Santiago must be in good shape. His legs call him back. He looks like he's recovered pretty good.
Minute left here in the 5th round. Best punch of the night from Jose Cayetano. And Cayetano momentarily switched back to being a conventional fighter, but now he's in that southpaw stance again. And that is what worked for him. Good lead right hand from Santiago. But then Cayetano flips him and goes to work. But then Santiago lands a big left hand. Big shots here in the 5th round. Jose Cayetano is opening up here in the 5th round. And you're right, there is a cut on the right side of Alexis Santiago's face.
The thing that Cayetano does really well is he throws punches, then he steps around and fires right back from a different angle. And it's been catching Santiago all along.
Great job, too, there. Shot, left hand. And Jose Cayetano getting set. A look here at the best punch of the night. Step back and counter with full force.
No, he didn't touch the canvas. That was, look at how his legs caught on that.
Got some action here. Get us halfway through this super bantamweight bout between Jose Cayetano and Alexis Santiago. And so Santiago's corner and has gone to work on that cut. It's over the left eye, right eye. Big round for Jose Cayetano. I'd love to get another look at the knockdown at some point. Check that, it wasn't scored a knockdown because Santiago was able, even though his legs buckled, didn't hit the canvas, but whether you can see whether his glove helped keep him up or if his balance was so good that he didn't use that either. Nice, long, short, crisp left hand from Cayetano. If your glove scrapes the ground when you're going down,
that's a knockdown, that's right. Or if the ropes are the ones that are holding you up, that can be considered a knockdown.
Tony Weeks, world-class ref, did not rule a knockdown. And Tony's got the best view.
Santiago's got to switch something up. What he's doing is not working. I think he needs to try to get inside it and make it ugly. Right now, Cayetano's making a pretty fight.
Cayetano back down to being a conventional fighter, but it seemed like when Santiago switched and then Cayetano switched to southpaw, and Cayetano switched to southpaw, it was Cayetano who found something.
That's right.
Overhand right that time. It lands on the side of the head. Cayetano.
There it is. Got to make it over.
Two big rights from Santiago now, and a scraping left, and now the two trade shots. Good job going upstairs and downstairs with the hook from Cayetano. That cut opened up again over the right eye of Santiago.
It's a very diverse attack he has. You don't know where it's going to come from.
What about his style with his hands, Cayetano? It seems like he keeps his hands.
He does, but when he dropped his hand, that's when he started, pop shotting, moving on him. He got slipped as soon as his hands got put down.
Both these guys are good counter punchers.
Let's go!
And you see good evidence of it as well.
Let's go, Beaver! Let's go, Beaver! Come on, bring your legs, baby! Let's go, come on! Let's go, slide in!
Big shot from Santiago, and Cayetano says, nope, didn't hurt me. And to prove it, comes back with 5 or 6 shots of his own. Good action here as these two fighters, no clinching by the way, in this fight.
No, they're a fight team.
They're working it out themselves.
Yeah. Making the ref's job real easy. This is what I mean by make it ugly. Get in his face, get in his chest, and just let him go. And that's when Santiago has the best success. When he's outside the end of Cayetano's punches, that's where he has the least success.
Cayetano here, 19-4 with 9 knockouts, but he's been down just once in his career, and he has never.
Okay.
So he's proven so far early on in his career a bit of a chin. So
yeah, absolutely.
As we start the 7th round, Austin, what's it looking like?
Right, I have Cayetano up. He's taking the last 3 rounds, in my opinion. I'm sorry, the last 4 rounds, and that's when he found that switch, and Santiago has not been able to figure it out, how to stop it.
Let's go, Beaver!
7 of the scheduled 10-rounder here, super bantamweights.
If you came too far, baby. Touch your head, touch your body with your hand.
Again, if Santiago would give me a few feints, he can avoid the counters. That's where he wants to be.
He's taking your advice, making it ugly. In close, ripping left hook though from Santiago with his back up against the ropes.
He's giving good angles on that as well. He steps over and then he throws that hook. And it's just creating an opening for him.
Santiago told us the whole family's going to be here. He's got 2 sisters. We told you about Francisco. And he's got a ton of friends as well from Phoenix, Arizona in the house. Crowd getting a little bit restless. Some Santiago supporters trying to implore him on here. He's trying to figure out.
Cayetano, he's tricky.
Yeah, he sure is.
He's tricky.
Cayetano looks like he moves well. Doesn't run, but there's enough movement. He keeps switching from southpaw to conventional.
You know, as soon as he makes that move, he jumps right over. This is where Santiago wants to keep him.
But Cayetano gets great work when he's been in the fight. There it is, 3 left hooks. It just seems like Cayetano is throwing punches with greater conviction.
Yeah, and they're very accurate. He's placing his shots very well.
Getting more leverage on his shots. Slowed down a little bit here in round 7. There it is, nice uppercut from Cayetano. And he's been committed to the body as well. And Santiago scrapes him there with a left hook.
Nice counter to the liver.
Good stuff now, strategy session. Cayetano, ripping left hooks to end the 7th. And he just seems like his feet are set under him a little bit more solidly.
He's got great balance. Yeah, he stays right on top of his shot. Whereas Santiago, he's leaning in a little bit, and he's not getting as much leverage on his punches.
Well, he showed a toughness. He showed a good chin, durability in the loss to Leo Santa Cruz. Shutout. He's tricky, like you said, because he's a deceptive counterpuncher, but he has an aggressiveness to him as well.
I mean, you get the best of both worlds, you know. Boxer punching.
Round 8 here. 22-pounders. Alexis the Beaver Santiago in the green and black shorts with the white trim, and it's Jose Cayetano in the black shorts with the green, red, and silver trim. All right, if you're Santiago here, and you're in his corner, what are you telling your fighter?
To stay on top of your feet, get in his chest, and do not let him out the corner. Make it as ugly and as rough as it can be, because in the boxing match, he's losing the boxing match. Yeah, he could win the battle as far as the brawling match.
Cayetano reaches across to the left.
Santiago has not been using his jab as he was in the beginning. Now he's just walking in without the jab. He's got to keep him there.
Well, what do you think? Part of that is all that good work to the body earlier from Cayetano.
You know, that, and I just think frustration. He hasn't been able to have his way, since the 2nd round. And I think partially is the frustration. Cayetano's slippery, he's countering. This is where Santiago wants to be.
Cayetano's able to slip out. Santiago did a little bit of work. And Cayetano battled back. Have you ever been in a situation where you prepare for, conventional fighter, and then halfway through he switches to southpaw and pretty much stays there? And it's not like you're sparring southpaws to get ready for a conventional fighter.
No, that has happened, but at the same time, hopefully they watch the film and see that he does switch a lot and was able to prepare for it.
But here's the thing, here's a guy who's only fought one other time in the States, so how much video potentially is out there on Cayetano?
That is true. It was hard to find some form.
And usually when a guy has the ability to flip, he flips and then he goes back.
You're right.
You know, I mean, now he's back to being in the conventional stance now, but for a good portion of the second half of his life,
Yeah, he stayed left-handed.
Jose Cayetano, he falls to southpaw.
That's you know how Hagler used to do it.
Yeah.
He'd turn left-handed, he'd stay left-handed.
10 seconds left, round 8. Cuts opened up again over the right eye of Alexis to Santiago. At what point here, Austin, do you start to think, if you're either one of these fighters, do you start to think, I might need to get a guy out of here to win the fight because now there's just 2 rounds left and maybe I haven't done enough?
Yeah, Santiago, that's what should be Santiago's mind right now. At the same time, Cayetano might be thinking, I'm in this guy's home turf. Who knows if they're getting these rounds?
Santiago from Phoenix, but he's been here the last 3.5 years or so. He makes his home now in Las Vegas. So definitely it is a home game for Alexis Santiago. It's the second time that Cayetano has fought outside of Mexico. Both times though here in Las Vegas. No real sense of urgency for either fighter.
And really, Cayetano really shouldn't have that urgency because he's winning the fight. You know, pretty easy. I wouldn't say easily,
but like you said, I mean,
especially you never know.
You're right.
You never know what the judges are thinking. Santiago, he does need to step on the gas ASAP. Good body shot.
Right, good left hand. And he was backed in that corner. Santiago couldn't touch him. Nice short left hand again. Cayetano. And he caught Santiago in the chin.
Let's go, we need this round. Let's go.
And here, members of the crowd.
Let your hands go, let's go.
Telling Santiago, let's go and lead this round. Let your hands go. They feel it here.
You see how he leans into the corner, and all he has to do is just step around, and Santiago just going to go over his feet.
Let's go down on fight. Let's go. Let's go.
Tell you what, Jose Cayetano has done a nice job.
Yeah, he's very skilled. Yeah, very good technique.
Let's go.
All those counter shots, I think, has gotten Santiago gunshot.
A little bit older. Cayetano got a late start. Turned pro at the 22. And has been fighting here as a pro for just over 7 years, but you certainly see why he's decided to stick with it. Good straight left hand from Cayetano.
After you received the good right hand from Santiago.
Cayetano on the balls of his feet. He's got good movement here in the 9th round.
He's breaking him down.
Nice shot from Cayetano on the belt line. With 15 seconds left here in the 9th. And Santiago continuing to look for answers here to solve the complex puzzle in front of him of many looks. Good look at that cut, by the way, too. They've done a nice job in the corner, but it's open on it.
No va a salir porque no tiene nada ya. No tiene nada. Okay. Está bien.
If you're Cayetano, you're heading into the 10th and final round. The game plan here.
Well, you know, really do what you've been doing. Everything's been working. I wouldn't let off the gas, though, just in case. But he's just continuing to stay in that rhythm and, keep frustrating Santiago.
10th and final round. So, Austin, let me know how you have it here, heading into the final 3 minutes.
Well, as you see, I got 87-84 for Cayetano. He's taking off. Santiago had some success, maybe in the 8th round, but it's been the Cayetano show.
6 rounds to 3. Austin has it in favor of Jose Cayetano, but again, we'll see how the judges have it.
In my opinion, Santiago's got to knock him down numerous times in order to win.
yet to really hurt Cayetano. Both fighters exchange jabs. Nice uppercut from Cayetano. He is showing good foot movement. Oh, nice body shot there. Two good right hands. But see how crafty Cayetano is right there? Just definitely had the left arm of Santiago.
It spins him out. He doesn't stay in trouble for long.
Sure was Cayetano. He spins out. Cayetano coming from all angles, was committed to the body from the very early going and has not stopped his attacks. He is flip-flop between conventional and the southpaw stance.
Oh, he's giving us a lot of looks today. He's giving us power, speed, defense, elusiveness.
Santiago knows here as he catches him with the left hook. And he needs to make something special happen here in the final 45 seconds. Crowd urging him on. Power shots that are too wide. Good work inside from Cayetano.
You see how he finished that pitch down.
That's right. Body shot. And now Cayetano is trying to close the show. 20 seconds left. Body shot definitely hurt Santiago. Loose on his feet. Overhand right from Cayetano. Another strong right. But Santiago refuses to go down. Tony Weeks watching closely here inside the last 10. Where Cayetano is pleased with his efforts. And is going to back out. And finish that was enough. How about Jose Cayetano trying to close the show here in Las Vegas? And Santiago got caught towards the end. We'll see how the judges scored it. Back here on PBC, the next round on Bounce TV. And Austin, a look back now at our first bout here. Santiago went up against the Cayetano. Cayetano, for his credit, he tried to close the show.
Yeah, he really did. It was an exciting fashion.
Look down action in the fourth round, and Santiago looked like he was getting the better of Cayetano, but then at some point Cayetano switched to southpaw, and that seemed to be the magic moment.
I think that was the key. But what it seems to me is Santiago, they weren't ready for everything that Cayetano could bring.
And you saw there, that was not a knockdown. Good job by Tony Weeks. Club didn't hit to help propel him up, and then in the 10th round, Cayetano, he still had enough energy, and he hurt Santiago.
Yeah, he was wincing there a little bit from the body shot. Yeah, good show. Great performance put on by Cayetano. Great effort by Santiago.
All right, let's send it over to Ray Flores for the final decision, brought to you by the Magnificent Seven in theaters September 23rd.
Ladies and gentlemen, having completed the full 10 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Max DeLuca, sees the contest 97-93, and Judge Ricardo Ocasio and Dave Moretti see the bout identical 96-94 for your winner by unanimous decision, Jose
So there you go. Jose Cayetano improved to 20-4 with a unanimous decision over Santiago.